And that is why Strategic Mind Academy is stepping in. We are already working with some government officials, as you can see during our last induction, to build IT hubs and libraries across different states, places where anyone, young or old, can walk in, access resources, and build a future. But listen, change begins here with you. This training is not something to take lightly. It is your ticket to growth, to relevance, to power in digital world. Please take it seriously. Push yourself. And when this first class is over, I challenge you to share your experience in the general group. The general group is the first WhatsApp group you joined. Please share your experience to inspire someone, because it's not everyone in general group have already registered. Show them that you are ready to be part of the solution, not a part of the problem that we are having. This is more than IT training. It's a revolution of your mind, and you are pioneers. Okay? Welcome to Strategic Mind Academy. Let's rise and build the future that we deserve. Thank you all very much. I will hand over to Victor to take you on data analytics today. Please take it very seriously. You will not regret being here. And please remember, everything we are offering here is 100% free. Anybody that sends you a code for money, please don't send any code to anybody or any money to anyone. If you are doing so, you are doing at your own risk, and Strategic Mind will not be responsible for that. Thank you all very much. I appreciate you all. Let the learning begin. Thank you. I'm handing over to Victor now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prof. Thank you so much, Dr. Somchuku. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a great one. That's a great one. Thank you so much for that. And then thanks for the opportunity to come around to meet with great minds. Please, I don't know if you can hear me clearly. Please, you just use an emoji. I love it when we just use an emoji to interact. So please, if you can hear me, okay, you can just use it. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay. So just to help in our thank you so much, everyone. Okay, yeah. So I noticed that some people are raising up their hands, and then just to help, your emoji is a kind of a smiley face on your screen. It's a kind of smiley face on your screen. It's just beside your. It should be, if you're using your phone, it should be just beside your mic. If you're using your phone, it should be just beside your mic. And the reason for that is because so that we can differentiate between somebody that is trying to ask a question and then also someone that is trying to react that they can hear in class. And then also throughout the journey, to an extent, just to also cover activities around, and just to cover the interference and disturbance. I believe the chat room should be open to everybody, and but then everybody's mic will not be opened. So please, you can always do well to actually ask your questions inside the chat, inside the chat box. You can always ask your question. Yeah, you can always ask your question, and then somebody will pick up your question, and then it will be responded to with immediate effect. So thank you so much, everyone, and then I believe that we are all going to enjoy this journey together. So as a means of introduction, also welcome to class, and then generally, just like our prof said, we'll be starting our journey on this our training generally, because I've seen some questions around, some people saying they put in for virtual assistant, some said web development, this and that. And then if you are the introductory class done by prof, he mentioned the fact that everybody will still go to their niche, everybody will still go to whatever class they want. However, to start with, we should be having a kind of general class about data analytics, and then I will tell you, along the journey, I will tell you some interesting gist about data analytics actually. And then in fact, I will share from my own personal experience how I started out my journey in data analytics, and then so that you can know that My life was never built on in data analytics, and then so it is just data analytics came, and then it impacted some things in me, and then I got myself I saw myself on the track. Yeah, that's the word. I saw myself on the track. So I'll be sharing some interesting gist with you guys, just to inspire you ahead of the journey. I'll be also sharing some insights, and the fact that data analytics is kind of big to an extent. Also, it's a kind of big niche on its own that you can actually narrow down. We have people in the government analytics, we have people in the um, we have some people in the business analytics world, we have some people in the healthcare and analytics, we have in construction analytics, we have infrastructure analytics, we have so many people in different space in the analytics field. So and then even for people that are even in the tech space now, people in the tech space, I mean people that's, for example, a product manager. Now, some of the requirements for even to be a good product manager, to be even a good project manager is data analytics. It's data analytics. I'll give, once I get to a brief bio about myself, I'll just run you through what I do and how I've also been able to integrate data analytics into my journey so far, so that it can also help you. So welcome to class. Welcome to class. And then this class will be a 10 weeks journey. And then although part of what we'll be setting also in class is clear rule of class. We also be having clear rule of class, but then that will come at the later part of the class, so that we can know the do's and the don'ts of class. This is quite a big class. I was telling Prof, I said, Prof, we have over 400 people on this group page already. Are we sure we are ready to accommodate 400 persons and the likes? And so the truth is, 400 people were registered for this class, ought to be on this call right now. Even on the first day, currently we have just about 90 persons in class. So definitely the whole 400 will not come to class. That's the truth. And then the truth is, it's not about being pessimistic also. It's not about being pessimistic also. Even if we have 100 persons in class, like frequent in class throughout, it's not the whole 100 that we actually be able to maximize whatever we are teaching in class. And then I would just want to implore you that it is possible, actually. It is possible we have 100% accuracy, 100% pass, and everybody paying attention in class and everybody getting the gist of whatever we are trying to pass across. It's very much possible. However, I would say that it solely depends on us. It depends on our level of commitment. It depends on our level of zeal. It depends on our level of passion, and it depends on our level of trying to drive change, And that's one of the reasons why I'll be sharing you some story along the journey. So myself, I'm Victor Kalako by name. And then I'm a certified financial modeling and valuation analyst, FMVA by CFA Canada. That is, then also I have my business intelligence and data analytics. I'm also a certified project manager by PMI Institute, that is a Project Management Institute USA. I'm also a registered member of the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyor here in Nigeria. So, and then all in my 7 years of journeying, I've been able to play so well in the real estate field, in the construction field, in the project management field, and also in the data analytics field. Somebody will say jack of all trades and the likes. I will tell you how I will share with you how I have been able to actually unify all these things. And then I saw a connecting dot. I saw a connecting graph between all these guys, and then I was able to use data analytics to connect all my years of experience, all my field. I've been able to use data analytics to actually connect them together. And the truth is, it's actually a good one. Actually, it's actually good. A brief story about myself. I started out in school as a quantity surveyor. I studied quantity surveying, and then I had the privilege of learning data analytics, quantitative analysis this time around. We have qualitative analysis, we have quantitative analysis. We'll go into that later. So, quantitative analysis, it was just all this, university graduates, you have your final year project and the likes. And then that time, we were told, one of my partners wanted to do my analysis for me, and he told me to bring 5,000 naira. 5,000 naira looked like a big money that time. The truth is, not like it looked like a big money. It was a big money for myself. I asked my parents for the money, and then they gave me the money, 5,000 naira. But I was like, how will I collect 5,000 from my parents and I will give it to you? And that's actually told me something that is something that you can also learn actually. and I jumped on it. I learned data analytics with all these our SPSS. I did for myself for my final year project, and then I passed. Maybe I even had maybe A or B in it. I passed. I was like, okay, so this is how this guy is, and then you know, I was not so much interested in it actually at that particular point in time. So when I finished school, I started my career as a quantity surveyor. I was practicing as a quantity surveyor, young promising guy, you know, branding yourself, packaging yourself, doing some certifications, trying to level up and the likes, until I had the privilege of starting my certification in financial modeling and valuation analysis. And that actually exposed me to data analytics in its core. And then after that, I also jumped on my business intelligence and data analytics. And the question is that, did I leave the field I was on when I learned data analytics? No, that's the answer. The answer is no. You know, I was in the construction space playing as a construction quantity surveyor, and at a point in time, I agreed to be a site manager, and at a point in time, I agreed to be a project manager in the construction space. And now I'm someone that's very vast in data analytics, like very vast in data analytics, you know. And then so please, I'm getting some people that are requesting to come in. Please, I am sure that if you follow the right procedure to this meeting room, it won't ask for permission. It is one of two things. It is either somebody on this call is sharing the link to this meeting to external people that are not registered. That's number one way, or possibly you got the link without going to the classroom page. Please, it is expedient. If you are coming through the classroom page, any people that joined, I was not even on the call, and they jumped on the call. Please, it is automatic, so that when you are entering now, it will not imagine now somebody trying to join again now, which is a form of distraction. So please, and that is why we want everybody to go to the classroom routes. Please register on the classroom. I will share. Okay, so just register on the classroom, and then just follow the procedure, and then you'll be fine with joining. Also, back to my story. So when I learned data analytics, you know, one of the things I did was that I did not, because of data analytics, actually drop every other thing I was doing. I did not, because of data analytics, drop every other thing I was doing. What I did was that it was a question of, what can I do with data analytics in the field I am right now? You know, that was the question I asked myself. What can I do with data analytics in the field I am right now? And then from my training, I realized the fact that data analytics actually span in diverse way. You can have data analytics as a career. You can be a data analyst as a career. You can also use data analytics in your personal life, like your personal life, maybe your finance budgeting, your finance planning, your budgeting, your personal finance modeling, and every other thing. You can use it for your finance, like for your own self. You can use it to plan your day. You know, there was a time I developed a kind of activities tracker. I developed a kind of activities tracker that it will be able to mark out my to-do list for each day, and I'll be able to tick it whether I am done with it or not. So once I'm done with it, it automatically strike it out. Those are the things that I have been able to do because I learned data analytics, and they are not for any company. They are for my personal use. They are for myself. So I saw the fact that, okay, I can use data analytics for my personal life. Now it's a question of, okay, I'm a quantity surveyor, I'm a project manager. What can I do with data analytics in that space also? And you know what? It actually opened a new horizon for me. It actually opened a new horizon for me. You know, I had the privilege of talking in Contact, first of its kind, Contact last year in Lagos, about data analytics in the construction space. You know, those are the privilege that having a knowledge in data analytics and still stay in your domain actually brings to you. So the reason why I'm going to that route is to tell you that the aim of this particular training is not for you to, after the training, oh, I'm not a certified data analyst, now join the pool of all the data analysts, like now trying to compete for a job. Some people will actually do that. Some people will actually try to get job as a data analyst. I'm not disputing that. But then I always tell my students to think outside the box of working for someone when it comes to data analytics. Always think outside that box. The first question should always be, what can I do with data analytics where I am right now? And then we have testimony. We have testimony about that. You know, one of our school graduates was a teacher, and then one of my mentees, actually, let me use that word. One of my mentees, it was a school teacher, and then he also answered the question of what can he do with data analytics in his current space, and he built a system using just your Excel. He built a system using just Excel to provide a solution to a problem in the education sector. He's enjoying it now, and in fact, there's even plan to actually just expand it and then make it a bigger deal. So I'm saying all those to actually make you see possibilities. I'm saying all those to actually broaden your mindset so that you will not be myopic about, oh, I want to attend this class, I want to get certificate, and I want to go and be looking for a remote job. Oh, I want to attend this class, I want to get a certificate, I want to go and be competing for a job. I must get this job, I must get that job, I must get this, I must get that. No. Yes, will you get job? Yes, definitely. If you are good, if you are persistent and you know what you are doing, definitely you will get job. However, start from where you are right now. Whatever you are doing, whether you own a business for yourself, whether you are working for someone, anything you are doing right now, whether it's for your personal life, in your journey to learn data analytics, look at how you can embed it into what you are doing right now, so that what you are doing right now will serve as your first testing ground. If you have filled the class specification that was sent to you guys on the classroom page, you see a column there that is asking that which industry would you like to play when it comes to data analytics. If you don't have any industry in mind, that's not even an issue. It can be I want to use it for my personal growth, my personal development, or my personal mentoring, monitoring, and the like. That's also fantastic. So that's a brief introduction about myself, and then about how to configure our mindsets as regards the journey ahead. So now it's a question of what is data analysis itself. So in our class today, we'll be looking at what data analytics is. So some little introduction into data analytics itself, and then after that, we will be looking at the basic principle or guideline for class. The guideline for class, the class guideline, so that by tomorrow we dive fully into using our Excel. After today's class also, you will know all the softwares you'll be installing for this class, and then I believe that you should not have any issue trying to install them. You should not have any issue. The only one you might have an issue with might be your SQL, and then that is not a problem. We'll be having a class to guide you through how to install your SQL. That's not a problem. You don't need to panic about anything. Don't worry about anything. You don't need to panic. You are covered. So what is data analytics? What is data analytics? What is data analytics? That's the first question. What is data analytics? You know, over here I write analytics is a discovery. One, note that analytics is a discovery. Analytics. Where's my pen? Okay. Analytics is the discovery. That's number one. That's not okay. Let me use something else. Okay. Analytics is the discovering. One is the interpretation. That's true. And then communication. Note those three things. Discovery, one. Interpretation, two, and then communication, three. Of what? Of meaningful pattern. Of meaningful pattern in data. Analytics is the discovery, number one, interpretation, number two, and communication of meaningful pattern in data. Of meaningful pattern in data. I said, and the process of applying those patterns towards effective decision making. Effective decision making. So it means that at the back end of data analytics, there's something at the back end of data analytics. And what is that which is at the back end is that you want to make an effective decision. Decision making. You want to make a decision. This guy. That is the end goal. You want to make a decision. So no matter whatever you are getting, no matter whatever you are interpreting, no matter whatever you are communicating, it must be to the end of you are trying to make decision. So data analytics is very important for everyone that is making decision. And if you will agree with me that everybody makes decision, even on a daily basis, every one of us makes decision. Every one of us. So now we have different types of decision making. We have different types of decision making, and then text box. So when it comes to decision making, we have what we call our intuition. We have what we call our intuition, and then we have what we call our data-driven decisions. We have what we call our intuitions, and then we have what we call our data-driven what's called our data-driven decision. So your intuition is what we basically call gut. You know, someone will say, "Oh, you know what? I feel I should agree with him." You know, I feel, you know, imagine a guy is asking the lady out. The lady is, and this lady is dissing his friend. I said, "Oh, you know what? I think the guy is cool. You know, just from his look, I think the guy is cool, and it looks like he has money. You know, that is based on your what? On your guts. That is based on your intuition. You don't have any raw facts. You don't have any raw facts. It is based on the fact that you feel the guy is good. You feel the guy should be a good boyfriend or husband. However, there are some people that before they will agree for you, you know, they will go out with the guy like 10 times, you know, 10 times, and whatever the guys did the first time, they will document it. Oh, he spent 5,000 for me. Oh, second time he did this, he did that. Third time he did this, he did that. Fourth time he did this. And then after all the 5 dates or meetup or anything, they will now analyze it. That, oh, money is not bad with spending. It get angry easily. No, this is happening. You know, this time around, what is making the difference is that the first time it is basically based on what you feel, like your first, you can call it your impression about the person. Your impression about the person. Don't forget that the end goal is that you want to make a decision. A guy is asking you out. You want to either answer yes or no. That is the aim. You want to answer either yes or no. And then the first one you have is that you feel like. But then this time around, you are not using your feeling. You are gathering data. Oh, I went out with him. He's shouting at every car passing by. He's doing this. Anyway, he has a lot of money. He's doing this, he's doing that. You know, at that particular point in time, you have data that is backing up your decision this time around. You have been able to gather data about him for about 10 days or 10 different occasions. And then from that, you are now making an informed decision based on the experience or based on the information that you have gathered about him. So as simple as that looks, it is what we call data analytics. So what you have done is that you have discovered, you have interpreted, and then from that, you can now communicate whether it is a yes or it is a no to the guy. That's basically the journey. If you got that, use an emoji. Let me see people following me. Let me see people following me. Are we still together? Okay, fantastic. Great. Okay, yeah, fantastic. Thank you, guys. So basically, when we are trying to make decisions, definitely data analytics is our run-through. When you're trying to make decision, so can we now see the fact that it is not only data analysts that they are data analysts that they are working as data analysts that actually need data analysis. It is for everybody. So it is just like my normal slang. Everybody is a data analyst. Everybody should be a data analyst. In fact, not only the data analysis, even project management itself, even project management. But then that's another thing entirely. So, but then we just need to all agree with this so that we can easily flow with the spirit of the class, and so that we can feel relaxed and enjoy the class and see it beyond, and see the class beyond just a career or a this or a that. So organization may apply analytics to business data to describe, predict, and improve business. We are going to look at the type of data, the type data. We are going to look at the type on this call. So now I wrote that data analytics refers to the systematic process. That's the data analytics. It refers to the what? To the systematic process. Systematic process of what? Examining data. That's We are examining data to what? To identify, number one, pattern. Number two, your trend. Number three, your relationships. And then number four, an useful insight that does what? That supports effective decision making. Can you see that we are very we are still on that? It is to the end of making an effective decision. Can you see that? It is to the end of making an effective decision. So we are not not losing out on that. So you have a bunch of data. You are looking at it. That is your examination, to the end that you want to see the pattern in it, you want to see the trend in it, you want to see the relationship they have, they want to see a useful insight so that it can guide you in your decision making. You don't want to make decisions just based on gut, just based on your feeling, just based on what you feel. I feel like, I feel like. No, that should not. After this class, it should not be like that again. Especially for critical decisions for us. Especially for critical decisions, it should be based on, oh, this is the facts. These are the facts. These are the facts in our front. So we are now making decisions based on those facts. So that should be what you should be after. So it combines methods from statistical, mathematics, computer science, and domain knowledge to draw conclusion from a large data set. So we want to draw conclusion from a large data set, and we are making use of these guys to actually help us to draw our conclusion. So that is what we are doing with our data analytics. So now, what are the importance of data analytics? What are the importance of data analytics? I think I should clear clear all. Yeah. So what are the importance of data analytics? Number one, in our business and commercial, data analytics help us to understand customers' behavior, improve product and services, and optimize your operations. Part of the project that you guys will be doing along the line is also around how business can actually use data analytics. And then you will see the fact that you can actually do what we call, we have some things around customer behavior. You want to study your customer behavior. You want to study your customer habits. You want to know the time. Maybe you are running a shop. You are running a store. You want to know your peak period when customers always come to your store more. Is it early in the morning? Is it 11 a.m.? Is it 12 a.m.? And then you can easily draw what you call your heat map. Based on the fact that you have been able to keep record of your information also. Also, you want to see how your customers are interacting with your products. You are selling about 5 products. You want to know which of the products is the best selling. Why is it the best selling? Is it because the price is cheaper than others? Is it because we have something we call alternative products? Is it because there are alternative products? Is it because we just increase the price? Is it because of the quality of the products? Those are questions that you actually want to answer, and they are only possible answering them with data analytics. So the type of data analysis that we answer this, we also look into that before. That should be the next slide after this. So, and then also your services, and then your optimize your operations. One of the first things I did with my data analytics knowledge is that I optimized my process. That was the first thing I did with my data analytics knowledge. As a trained quantity surveyor, when I was growing out, I understand the fact that there is a traditional approach to actually whenever you want to build a house and they are trying to build up the cost for that house, what people always do is the fact that they take their pen and their paper to write out to be doing their calculations one by one after the other, doing their calculations. And then at times this calculation can take them up to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even at times a month, depending on the complexity of the project. But then I was like, am I going to be doing this? Definitely not. So as I sat out with myself, and I built a system around it that what you guys will be using 2 weeks, 1 month. If I'm serious with it, I'll finish it in a day or 2 days. Right? If I'm very serious with it. In fact, at times I do ask clients, do you want it to be fast tracked, or you want it to be normal time? Because if you want it to be normal time, I'll tell you 2 weeks. Fast tracking, 3 days, I will deliver your work, like with 100% integrity and the likes. And the only reason why that is possible is because I have learned how to optimize my process, my operations using my data analytics knowledge and using a tool as simple as Excel. Using a tool as simple as Excel. Just have my Excel formula configured. I had all my formula inbuilt. Even if there's any change, on the structure on the project or anything, what I will only do is that come back to my Excel, click 1, 2, 3 things, and then I have my new update with immediate effect. Somebody says my slide is not showing. I think it is only from your side, because even from my feedback monitor, if you can see my screen, please use an emoji. Let me see people that can see my screen. We actually, okay, thank you. Yeah, people can. I have a feedback monitor here, and I can see my screen from my feedback monitor just to see what you guys are looking at. So okay, fantastic. Yeah. So please, you might want to leave the call and join back. Maybe it's your network. You might want to leave the call and join back. Thank you. So with that, so I'm now giving you a practical tip. I'm giving you a real life scenario about how we are using data analytics, even in our personal life and in everything. Just to tell you that these are not theories. Actually, these are not theories, and they are practical. They are practical things that we have done. And if you give yourself to it, by the end of this our 10 weeks journey, there are things that you should be able to do it also. Maybe not on the expert level, maybe not, definitely, because it's a journey. Actually, it's a journey. Nobody can teach you to be an expert in 10 weeks. Actually, nobody. So what makes you an expert is your consistency and your training after your 10 weeks journey. That's what will make you an expert. Your consistencies, your training, your practical works you are exposing yourself to. After this, that's what we actually build your experience and your knowledge domain. So the next thing is your government policy. Your government policy. So I said data-driven analysis supports evidence-based policies, resource allocation, and long-term planning. If you are looking at long-term planning, we have what to call our trend analysis. We have what to call our trend analysis. That's a kind of analysis. If you're looking at your long-term planning, we have some things we call our resource allocation, just to show us the fact that data analytics is not only for business. Government also makes use of it. In fact, policies also make use of it. They also make use of it. Our healthcare, healthcare is waking up now. Actually, healthcare is waking up now. They are actually really trying. They are actually really waking up, because now we are having a lot of people that are going to healthcare analysis. They are trying to analyze healthcare data. These are possibilities. Initially, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago in Nigeria, rapt attention was not paid into all those. But then now we have people that are fully dedicated to public health data or maybe hospital health data. If our healthcare also maximize data analytics, they will be able to understand how their patients' behavioral pattern looks like. They will know when to even administer their drugs more effectively. In fact, they'll be able to know in the hospital the best time to have maybe 15 nurses on call, when to have 5 nurses on call, if you want to reduce their manpower, if you want to optimize morning and then maybe have time, save time for, these are the kind of structure we can actually put in place, whether healthcare, whether business, whether commercials, whether government and policies and the likes. These are things, I have here that it helps in disease prediction. We can easily predict disease. Patient management, you can use it to manage your patient. Improve healthcare delivery. Also, you can also use data analytics to actually improve your healthcare delivery. Study your historical data about healthcare. Study the amount of people that have malaria by year over the last 10 years. You'll be able to know, it is projected that maybe 10,000 people will have malaria in the next year. So that before the year comes, the government has already put in stock an average quantity of drugs or things that will actually cater for all those people. These are things that advanced countries actually make use of. These are things they leverage. That it always looks like they already have a plan ahead for their. It is basically data analytics. It's basically data analytics. They plan ahead because of the fact that they look at the historical data and they use it to project for the number of people that they should take care of, possible people to take care of in the next 1 year. So maybe margin of maybe plus or minus 5 to 10%, and then everybody is cool. So now we have another thing to be sport and entertainment. Yeah, this is another thing. You can actually analyze sports data. I was with some of my team at the point in time, and then what we were doing at that particular point in time was analyzing sport data. We sat down with EPL, do web scraping, extract the data from online. Then we released some about sports generally. You know, some crazy fact about sports that you are not really. You know, we have guys on this call, guys that love football and that love debating about football. Maybe some ladies also, because I think nowadays ladies are also picking interest in football anyway. So these are your knowledge of data analytics can also be applied on that. Actually, you can deliberately sit down, know how to scrap web with something as minute as your Power BI or even maybe your Excel at times, and then you just sit down with it, analyze your data, so that by the time people are complaining, they are shouting, they are most of us, anytime we are arguing about football, it will be based on maybe we have listened to an argument before and somebody now said it to win the argument. We will now also bring it to another argument so that we can also win the argument. It's not because of the fact that we're actually researching on it or we have our raw parts. So as we are learning this, it's also a possibility for us to actually explore. And lastly, I have here that our everyday life, much more important than everything I've said earlier. In fact, we have more than this. We have different sectors. Construction is not even here at all. Construction is not here. All these other major sectors is not. Other sectors are not there. But then that is just to limit because of class confinement and the like. Just to limit it. But then the most important is our everyday life. This is very important. You can use it to monitor your personal finance. You can use it to know your spending habits. How do you spend your money? Your inflow, your outflow. You can use it to monitor your spending habits. You can use it to track your heads. Your heads go. You know, you want to burn down. You are trying to burn down fats. You know, you can keep record of all these things so that you can study the pattern over time, whether you have been able to accomplish all these things. You know, personal life. You can also use to improve your learning outcome. Yeah, you can use it to improve your learning outcome. These are personal ways we can actually use data analytics in our life journey. These are practical ways. You can use it for your daily routine planning. Like just have a kind of a little to-do list for yourself on your Excel, and then once I told you that once you are done with it, you just tick the box, and then it will just cross it that you have done it. And there's a way the calculation will be done that it calculates the percentage of your daily goal you are able to meet. It is something. All these are not fictionals. All things this thing. In fact, if I look at my archive very well, I might still see the video recording of that particular how to do your simple to-do list tracker. It's as simple. There are things that you can easily do on your Excel. There are basic things that anybody can actually do to monitor our personal progress, your whatever you are trying to achieve, your short-term goal, your long-term goal. You know, you are planning to build your house. You know, you can use it to plan your house building. You are planning your marriage. You can use it to plan your marriage. You know, all those things. You can use them for that. So moving on. The next thing is type of analysis. Types of analytics. So now, under the type of data analytics, I don't have the other way here, but then I'll be going two ways. We have. Please, I want to let me see my quantitative analysis. Please, can you guys see what I'm typing on the screen right now? Let me know if you can see what I'm typing on the screen right now. Okay, you can see what I'm typing. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so we have our quantitative analysis, and then we have our qualitative analysis. We have our quantitative analysis, and we have our qualitative analysis. Don't mind me. I'm not used to preparing PowerPoint slide for class like this. Yeah. Okay. Some people are saying they can't see what I'm typing. Okay, you can't see it. Okay, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. You can't see it. That's not. But then if you can see my screen, don't worry. Don't worry. If you can see my screen, don't worry. Don't worry. Once you can see my screen, don't worry about that. You can't see it. Okay, that's not a problem. So what I typed is just quantitative analysis and qualitative analysis. It's as simple as that. That's seen now. Okay, fantastic. Okay, seen now. Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Okay, so Okay, fantastic. Yeah, so we have our quantitative analysis and we have our qualitative analysis. For your quantitative analysis, these are two basic type of analysis that we have. So for your we have different types of data. We have different types of data, and then we'll be looking at it in our class tomorrow. By the time we get on our exam, so that I can explain it better on our exam during our exam class tomorrow. We have different type of data. We have our structured data, we have our unstructured data, and we have our semi-structured data. We have structure for anybody jotting. Please, we have our structured data, we have our unstructured data, we have our semi-structured data. And then basically your structured data are your data that are in table formats. Like they are in table formats. If you are drawing your table and you're writing something on your table, you know, each column, each row, those are your structured data. We'll look at that tomorrow morning. I'll be tomorrow afternoon once we get on our Excel, so that I can show you that very well. And then we have our unstructured data. For example, before you got on this call today, we sent a message was sent to you on the group page. That message sent to you on the group page, it's a data actually, because it's an information, it's a data. But then this time around, it is not in table format. It is not in table format. It is just a text that was typed on keyboard and sent to you guys. That kind of data is called your unstructured data. So if you are sending an email to somebody, they are all kindly find attached for your use, this blah, blah, blah. That's your email. It is a data, but then it is unstructured data. Those kind of unstructured data that they are your text, they can also be analyzed. They can also be analyzed. So those kind of analysis is what we call qualitative analysis. Those kind of analysis is what we call qualitative analysis. So we have some people that their focus, their area of strength is actually qualitative analysis. Just to give you a kind of background, we are not going fully into that. So just to give you a kind of background, we have some people that they are basically focused on qualitative analysis, and then we have some softwares we use for qualitative analysis. We have software like Atlas, we have software like InVivo, and quite some others. So your qualitative analysis can involve your picture. Your picture is a data, it can be analyzed. Your text is a data, it can be analyzed. Your image is a data, it can be analyzed. Your voice notes is a data. In fact, if you get to advanced countries, by the time they are trying to examine a criminal, they pick up their call record, examine the tone. Most of the people, anybody they are on call with, they examine the tones and everything. Those are data also, and they analyze them also. But they are not in stable. They are not in rows and columns, so they are unstructured. They are unstructured. Hence, we use qualitative analysis for them. So basically, if I'm asking you what the definition of qualitative analysis is, qualitative analysis is simply analysis of unstructured data, like as short as ABC. So now, if you now want to go into detail, you can now be saying qualitative analysis is an analysis of data that are not in a structure pattern, or they are not in table, or they are not in rows and or columns. But then something simple as is analysis of unstructured data. It covers whatever you are trying to achieve. So, but then when it comes to your quantitative analysis, when you have your data in your rows and in your column, you are given an Excel sheet. It has rows, it has columns. That is a structured data. So your quantitative analysis is what we employ when we are dealing with structured data. And for the period of this class, we'll be using our quantitative analysis. So anything we'll be teaching will be in respect of quantitative analysis. So even now, under quantitative analysis, we have different spec. We have research analysis. You know, your research analysis, those are people that use SPSS for the analysis. And there's this one other software we use for research analysis also. In fact, we use Excel, advanced part of Excel for research analysis also. By the time you are going to some crazy part of regression, your correlation analysis and the likes, you know, I don't want to bore you guys with technical jargons at the initial stage now, so that you guys will not get kind of confused and the likes. But then I'm just trying to chip them in so that if you want to do further study, for people that are really so much interested in all these things, if you want to do further study, they are keywords you can actually just go and study on to learn more about what these things are actually. So so for your quantitative analysis, which we'll be doing, what we'll be doing basically in our class focus more on the business side of things. It focus more on the business side of things. So we are not doing the research side of things. It focus more on the business side of things. So talking about, we'll be looking at some possible pathway also, but then it focus on. So for our quantitative analysis, we have 4 type of analytics we employ under our quantitative analysis. So everything we are seeing on the screen right now, type of data analytics, is under your quantitative analysis. It is under your quantitative analysis. So now we have the first one to be descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis. So if you are trying to answer the question of what is happening, for example, we are saying what is happening in class right now, how many students is in class right now, what is happening, you are trying to describe what is actually happening. You are running a shop, and then you have been able to get your data set for about a month or 3 months, and then you are telling your maybe your sales rep and like that, no, that is thank God, that is actually wrong. Is it correct to say that no, your quantitative analysis is structured data? Please don't get that wrong. Your quantitative analysis is for structured data. Your qualitative is for unstructured data. So that's so let us balance that. Okay, thank you. So So I was explaining your descriptive analytics, and I was saying that your descriptive analysis is when you are trying to answer the question of what is happening. What is happening in our company right now? What is happening in our business right now? What is the profit we are making? How many percent profits? What is the exact amount of money we are making? Which of our products is the best selling product? Which of the countries or which of the states is our product performing? You are answering the question of what is happening right now. That is your descriptive analytics. That is your descriptive analysis. But then when you are not trying to answer the question of what will happen, what is happening or what has happened is different from what will happen. So what will happen is a prediction you are projecting into what will happen in the future. So it is like a kind of forecasting, and that's what we call our predictive analytics. That's what we call our predictive analysis. So you are trying to predict what will happen based on historical data. And machine learning, that's the agnostic machine learning follows. Leveraging historical data to predict what will actually happen. Leveraging historical data to predict what will actually happen. So, for example, let's say you have been having a kind of sales, and then where's my line? Okay, you have been having a kind of sales, and then for your sales, you had one at this. Let me use dots so that I can. Where's my dots? So let's say this. Let's say this is our. Let's say this is maybe. Let's keep it simple. Let's say maybe 36 or anything. Let's say you're able to sell 36 this month. Let's say the following month you sold 46. Next month you sold 38, very close to 36 around there. So and then you sold maybe 30 this month, and then again you sold maybe 50 again this time around. You sold let's say you sold 40 something again, and then you sold another 60 again. You can see the pattern. So now we want to try and connect this pattern. So we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this. So now we can see from this from this that we saw 36 here, and then at a point we went up, and then we came down, and then this guy to be a kind of our floor level. Definitely, this guy to be a kind of our floor level. And then we have this guy to be a kind of our ceiling level. You know, don't mind my graph this time around, because my graph is not. So, but then at the point in time, you notice that this guy has also changed in trend, also has a kind of change in trend. So now you are trying to see that, okay, based on what we have right now, what will possibly happen in the coming days. You know, people that are into forex trading and crypto trading, they will have seen this kind of graph before, and they will understand this better, because that's basically what the algorithm all your trading actually follows. So this also can help you to make financial investment wisely actually. So you can easily look at that and say, oh, projection that most likely this guy will still come down, maybe towards this kind of floor level before maybe it will go up next. So those are your projections. So it is what we call predictive analytics. It's also called predictive analytics. So we use predictive analysis with our time series analysis very well. With our time series analysis, with our line graph, with our trend, and the like, so that we can look at historical data to predict what will actually happen in the future. So that answers the question of what will happen, what is likely to happen. So another one is our prescriptive analysis. Another one is our prescriptive analysis. So now you've been able to answer what is happening. You've been able to answer. You have been able to answer what has happened. You've been able to answer what will happen. Prescriptive analysis is when, you know, whenever you are going to a hospital, whenever you are going to an hospital, and then, you know, a doctor will examine you, and they will try to do what? They will try to diagnose you. They are going to go to, oh, you know what, you have malaria. Oh, you have this. So from whatever they are able to diagnose, they will now do what? They will now prescribe a kind of drug for you. They will prescribe a kind of drug for you. So your diagnostic analysis explain why it happened. Why is this thing happening in our company? Why are we losing customers? Why is this happening? Why am I not making? Why am I not eating up to my goals? So by the time you're able to answer the question of why, then you cannot have your actionable recommendations. This is your recommendations, your prescriptive analysis. You'll be able to prescribe based on your why. Oh, this is why it has happened. It is because we increase the price of our product. That is why people are not patronizing us again. Oh, so what do you recommend? Okay, maybe we should bring the price down a little bit, or maybe we can add some kind of added value, so that people can see that, oh, the new value actually worth it. You know, that is you now prescribing based on why it happened. So to an extent, your descriptive and prescriptive, your descriptive and predictive, they work together hand in hand, and then your descriptive and diagnostic also, they work hand in hand to a large extent. So before you can be able to predict, you must first be able to describe what's happening currently. So it's from your knowledge of what is happening currently that you'll be able to predict what will happen. For you to be able to recommend or prescribe, you must be able to know why it happened first. You must be able to diagnose it first, know why it happened. So once you know the root cause, once you know why it happened, then you can now know how best to describe, how best to recommend. So this is more of a kind of insights, actions, insights, next step. You are trying to answer the company's next step or insight. So this answer all your question of what next, your next step. So that answers the question of that. So I think with this, we've been able to lay a very good foundation of how our journey will look like, or what data analytics look like. So now I wrote here briefly that why data analytics matter. So number one, it helps us in process optimization. That's number one. If you want to optimize your process, your data analytics is your run tool. It enhances customer experience. You'll be able to know your customer's behavior, know what is happening with your customer, and then definitely know how to treat them better. Then it also helps you to identify new opportunity in the markets. From your analysis, you'll be able to see what are the new possibilities in the market, and then also it helps you to also mitigate risk. Also, it helps you to also mitigate risk. So So I'm coming. I'm trying to check if okay, yeah, I've gotten that. I want to show. I want to ensure that your attendance is being tracked from this end. That's what I'm trying to check. So these are the four basic why it matters that we have on here. So what are the career opportunities? So what are the career opportunities? So for data analysis, we have different routes for hits. We have different routes. So, but then for career opportunities, for people that are looking at diversifying, we have data and analysts. We can go into data analyst. You have report specialists. If you want to go into that, you have your BI analyst, your business intelligence analyst. We have your data consultant. Also, we have a kind of we also have a kind of trend for that. Let me use my text box to write this out. So we have a career path from data analyst to data scientists, for people that want to climb the ladder of then from that to data engineer. So we have this as a form of something you might also want to leverage. Data engineer. So we have you can start out as a data analyst. Later on, upgrade your knowledge to be able to be a data scientist. And then if you want to get to climb to the top of the ladder around that space, you can also be a data engineer. But then if you decide to stay within your data analytics space, you can start from a junior data analyst, go to be a mid data analyst, and then before you grow to be a senior data analyst. And then the truth is, what will be shared, the course content for this class will actually take you from the minimum from junior level to your mid level, from your junior level to your mid level. For senior data analysts, most times we always recommend the knowledge of Python or machine learning for senior roles, and that's because of flexibility. But then what this class covers actually allow you to actually settle down comfortably in any role as a data analyst. So the other part is software we are going to master in our journey. I slide this now. So please for proprietary rights, please, legally it is not good to snap somebody else's materials without their approval. Just saying by the way. But then I will speak with Prof if we are making this material available for the slide available for everybody. But then to a large extent, all your course material should be made available to a large extent. So you don't need to necessarily snap it and the likes. So for the software we'll be looking at, basically to start with, we'll be looking at your Microsoft Excel. You'll be looking at your Microsoft Power BI, and then also we'll be looking at your SQL. We'll be using Microsoft SQL. So because they are all Microsoft tools, and then for better integration, so we'll be staying on Microsoft tools. So your Excel, underestimated Excel is the foundation of the data handling. You remove beyond basic spreadsheet to master advanced function, data cleaning, and introductory dashboard. This skill is indispensable for any data professionals. So we'll start our dashboard from Excel, but then we perfect our dashboard on our Power BI, and then also we look at how we can use our SQL to also create. So what are we going to be looking at under our Power BI? How to transform data into compelling visual stories with Power BI. We are going to talk about our data modeling. We're going to look at our DAX. And then also we're going to be looking at how to create our interactive dashboard that communicates complex insights clearly and effectively. So I wrote here that Power BI is a leader in business intelligence. It's one of the most used business intelligence tools. Other options we have is our Tableau. We have our Tableau. Google is also trying. We have Google Looker. But then I can assure you that if you have a very good knowledge of Power BI, you'll be able to undo any of those other softwares, like to an extent, because your knowledge of your visuals applies in other space. I had somebody from UK at a point in time. I think that should be a year ago or 2 years ago. That reached out to learn Power BI visuals, and at a point in time at his workplace, he was asked to prepare a report on Google Looker. The truth is, he did not go for any special training again on Google Looker. It was a Power BI training that we did that he applied on that on that job. In fact, when he sent it to me, I was like, wow, this is what I taught you in class. And that's because of the fact that once you are good, see, data analytics is about understanding rudiments, it's about understanding the concepts, it's more than the tool itself, you know. So I want you to see the journey more than the tool itself. We are going to use tool, definitely. Tool is our means, is the means to the end. The tool is not the end itself. Tools, they are just means to an end. They are not the end itself. So when you understand the end, you understand how to get to the end yourself. So by the time you are adding any tool, whether it is Power BI, whether it is Tableau, whether it is Google Lookout, or any of those other visual tools, once you know what you want to achieve, you know, you will always see it. The difference is basically the maker. Well, Microsoft is the maker of Power BI. Microsoft is the maker of Power BI. I've forgotten the maker of Tableau. But then, although there are some other complexity around things also because your data loading on Tableau is not the same way you load your data on Power BI. So, and that one is actually very, very simple. But then you need to, when you're using multiple data on Tableau, you need to strongly understand all the type of joins that you have when it comes to data analytics. We are going to treat all those ones too. So it's not a problem for you guys. So that's why I said, if you know how to use one with the knowledge in this class, you'll be able to navigate on others easily. And part of this course curriculum, we train you on the type of joins we have so that it can prepare you for even other softwares than what we'll be teaching in class. So, and then also for Tableau, when you're working on your Tableau for your graphs, your Tableau allows you to do your graph one per sheet, and you have a last sheet to consolidate everything. But then for your Power BI, you can have it directly, just everything on the same dashboard once and for all, without having any multiple sheets. So that's just that about that. If you have more interest, you can also research more about that after the old school section. But then trust me, you will actually be fine with the knowledge of what you are doing in class. So for your SQL is a universal language for database. So we are going to have an introduction to database, and then we are going to talk about database management system. We have a system called database management system. So we have relational database management system. We have non-relational database management system. So basically, we are going to be looking at relational database management system. But then definitely we're going to look at the difference between the two, your relational and non-relational, by the time we get to SQL. That's just to give you tip of the iceberg of what is coming, or a thought in further class. Are we using all tools or just one of the tools? All the tools that we have on the screen right now, your Excel, your Power BI, your SQL, you are using everything in the next 10 weeks. In the next 10 weeks, you are using all the tools you have right now on the screen. Microsoft Excel, your Microsoft Power BI, and your SQL. You're going to use everything in our journey for the next 10 weeks. So the next thing is that navigating your data analytics program. So we are done with the introduction part. So I just want to, within the few minutes that we have left, I just want you to walk through your class expectation, what you will need for this class to be successful in this class. Just like I said earlier in class, you can join this class on your phone. Definitely, you can join the class on your phone. You can listen in on your phone. But then it's very important to know that phone is not enough for this class. Phone is not enough. This is a practical class. We are going to, I can't come to class. You know, imagine myself coming to class and then all I'm teaching you is from PowerPoint. Like I'm preparing a PowerPoint for you guys. Don't worry, any exam that you have, we do. So, or maybe even if you want to get another exam version, that's not a problem. You can also get that. So I was saying that imagine myself coming to class and I'm teaching you about data analytics, and everything I'm doing is that I'm showing you the picture of it, and I'm just showing you you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, and then we end of the class. You know, that will not speak so well. You know, I have to teach you by doing it in your front. I have to teach you by doing it, and then also for you to also learn it, you also have to follow the same suit. You have to be doing it. So please, you need laptop. Please, you can borrow someone. It's not a must you have the laptop. It's not a must. But then for practice sake, you can borrow someone's laptop. You can, if you have a friend that has a laptop, you can go and visit your friend. Friend, how far? I beg. I've used your laptop. I somebody want to run something. 30 minutes, 1 hour. Just, in fact, at times you need to, even if you need to buy maybe one bottle for that your friend, just making the day all right. Make you enjoy the laptop, please. Those are the sacrifices that you should be ready to actually pay. Those are the sacrifices you should be ready to pay, because the truth is, it's actually worth it. That's number one. Number two is around your attendance. Please, attendance for class is compulsory. Attendance for class is compulsory. Attendance for class is very compulsory. In fact, initially we wanted to make this minimum attendance for 70%, but then we were just, because of the fact that maybe some unforeseen circumstances can come around, and so that's why I said, okay, let's do 70%. Your attendance is very, very compulsory, very, very compulsory. So and then you need to note that your attendance forms. In fact, if you check your classroom, your attendance forms as part of your final score. So we are going to be grading you based on your attendance. This system we have presently is monitoring your attendance from the beginning to the end of the class. So if you think that you are just joining and then you'll be leaving at the end of the class, because the system is system programmed already. So the system is looking at your attendance, how you join the class, when you join the class, the numbers of hours you spent in class and the likes. The system is monitoring all those. So please, your attendance is very, very compulsory. So please, it helps. It helps so that somebody that missed class last week will not just be coming to class and saying, I don't understand that one. No, I don't understand that one. No, it should not be. Let's harmonize everything. Let's every one of us move together. So certificate readiness also. I said here that the class is fast. I can really take note. So please, yeah, I think, please, I have a tendency to be very fast when I'm speaking. I have that tendency very well, actually. So I will try to make the slide available. And also, when we get to the practical aspect of things, this time around, we are doing the theoretical aspect of things. When we get to the practical aspect of things, I will come down to your pace. Like, I will move at your pace. And then also, I will also be conscious of the fact that we have a timeline that we want to finish the class. But then don't worry about that. I'll come down at your pace, and then all the course materials will always be in your classroom. All the course materials will always be in your classroom. So always go to your classroom, and then all the course materials will always be there. You can always go on that. So this particular one will also be in your classroom. Okay. So for your certificate readiness, I said that this course will actually give you practical experience into the real world. So, and then for you to be able to get your certificate, your 70% attendance is compulsory. You have your quizzes that you'll be doing once in a while. You'll be having quiz. Your quiz will be automatically marked. We decide whether we allow you to see your scores immediately or you can see your score later. But then your quiz will be marked almost immediately because they will be objective quiz. And then apart from your quiz, you will also be having project works. So where you will do assignments, you'll be having video guided assignments, you'll be having your video guided assignments, do as I do, work on that. Then you have assignments that you will sit down on your own to actually do it. And then we also be having a kind of section that we have you guys break out into section on Discord, and then you brainstorm with your team members, because teamwork is part of data analytics scope of work. So you need to learn how to work as a team also while doing your training time period here. So those are the things that actually forms your certificate readiness after the outro. So this will be the schedule for the class. For the next 10 weeks, this is the schedule we'll be using for the class. We have our introduction to Excel, before we go to our Power BI, before we go to our SQL, and then the last week of the class will be our student project class, and then school overview and feedback. Deliberately, I think I removed something from this, and then these are around personal branding, because I do love to hold the kind of personal branding section with any student I'm taking data analytics, because at times you might be technically sound, but then if you don't know how to amplify your voice, it might be very difficult to make people know whatever you are doing. But then I believe that maybe Prof has a structure around that, but then I will confirm with him later so that we can see a better way of going around that. So, but then this will also be on your classroom page, so that you can look at the school curriculum. This is what we're getting us throughout our 10 weeks. And then what to expect, I've already mentioned this interactive section, and then your practical assignment. So building your data portfolio. So we'll be having our weekly assignments, we'll be having your capstone projects, and then we'll be having a section to showcase your work. So I'll be teaching you how to set up your GitHub account For people that don't have LinkedIn accounts also, I will also employ you to also create your LinkedIn account, because it's part of what I always recommend for anybody that's starting out in the professional world. Because you need, whether you're a data analyst or whether you are in the tech space generally, if you're coming to the tech space, you need your GitHub account, very important. And also, you also need your LinkedIn account so that you can be visible to people out there. You know, visibility is it for us. You have to be very visible, actually. You have to be very visible. It's very, very important. So I think with this, we have come to the end of our session for today. And then what I have here is that, are you ready to unleash your potential? And then by that, I mean that, are you ready to start the journey to learn about data analytics? Are you ready to start your journey to data analytics? Are you ready to grow your skills? Are you ready to launch your career? Are you ready to expand your network? Are you ready to innovate with data? And then also, are you ready to also get satisfied in data analytics? So I wrote that you are here to support you every step of the way. Let's make data work for you. And then once again, let me welcome everybody on board once again. And then I believe that it should be a smooth ride for every one of us. So please, if you have any question, please, you can throw your question at me now, please. You can just type your question, please. You can type your question, please. You can throw your question at me. Like, just, just pick your question, just throw it. Just throw it, and then I will catch it. Don't worry, I will catch it. So please, if you have any question, please, let's ask all the questions that we have right now. So somebody saying, I want to switch my option to data analytics. Don't tell me that you are falling in love with me already, because I can remember that you mentioned that you picked another link before. Now you are already looking at switching. Don't worry. Data analytics is for everybody. Everybody can learn it. Everybody will learn it. So that's not a problem. So any question? Okay, sir, you didn't talk about semi-structured data. Fantastic question. Yeah. Fantastic question. So yeah, I think I would prefer it that if you guys can use the QA, if you can use the QA section to actually ask your question, I would love it. But then let me see. Is it possible to learn these 3 in just 10 weeks? Fantastic question. Sir, what fate of those that rejoin because of bad network? Okay, I will answer all those questions now. Okay, so let me start from what is the duration of the training? Let me start with that. So duration of the training is for 10 weeks. This training will be spanning for the next 10 weeks. So we are together. You will hear my beautiful voice for the next 10 weeks, actually. And then so this particular training will be for the next 10 weeks. And then you didn't talk about semi-structured data. Fantastic question, actually, David. Fantastic, very, very, very great one. It shows that you're actually paying attention to detail, and then which is a very good attribute of a data analyst. That's a great one. So if we have structured data to be table, and we have unstructured data to be not in table, maybe text and voice note and every other thing. So your semi-structure is the combination of your structured data and your unstructured data. It's a combination of both. For example, you can be sending a mail out, and in your mail you have a table also in that body of the mail. That is your semi-structured data. So it is as simple as possible as, how do I get a laptop from you, sir? I don't have one. I don't. How do you know I have laptop? To Miriam, how do you know I have laptop? Are you sure that I'm not even teaching you from phone? So I don't have a laptop for you, please. Just get one of your friends around, please. So somebody's asking that I need the name of the software to download immediately for the class or the next classes. So please, the software you need to download against your next class is your Excel. Please, I believe that an average laptop should have an Excel. So please, once you have an Excel, you are good to go for the next class. After your Excel class, which is planned for the next 4 weeks, is your Power BI. Your Power BI is the easiest to download. We are going to use Power BI, Microsoft Store. We get our Power BI downloaded from it. The hardest software to get right now is your SQL, and you don't need to bother yourself about it. I'm going to upload the software on your classroom page under the materials. Don't worry about that. And then we are going to have a class specifically on how to install your SQL. So before the class, you guys will have downloaded it from your classroom page, and then we'll just come to the class to actually just install it. So I'm very much ready. Nice session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So what's the fate of those that rejoin because of bad network? Don't worry. Recording this class is recorded, and the recording of the class will be made available. So that's my problem. That's my problem. The recording of the class will be made available. You did just a great job. Thank you so much, Mr. Obi. The class is only Saturday and Sunday, right? Yeah, Saturday and Sunday, so that you guys can do every other thing you want to do. How is it possible to learn these 3 in just 10 weeks? Yeah, very great question, Anna. Very great question. How is it possible to learn in just 3 weeks? So, the truth is, this is a crash course, and you know, like I mentioned to you before, that we'll be having our time together for the next 10 weeks, and then, but then I did not promise you guys that you'll be an expert in the next 10 weeks, because what I'm training you guys on today, I've been on this field for over 5 years already. I've been on this field for over 5 years, doing training, doing it for companies, and doing it for personal use, doing it for people and the like. You know, 5 years. You know, you can't compare with somebody that's just starting out. So it's your 10 weeks will equip you to get started. However, the truth is, how far you will go depends largely on your consistency, how ready you as a person you are to actually to get yourself trained on it, to become an expert on it. So on the long run, you know, some people after the class, they will be like in the Bible, I was talking about that some people here and they threw it by the roadside, and some bird came and they picked it up, and then that was all. So and then, but then some people will actually plant it on the fertile ground, and then through consistency, through doing it again and over again and over again, habits, they will get better in it. And then definitely in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, you'll be better. In the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, you'll be able to confidently say, yes, I can do this. Sir, will I still do my virtual assistant course? Yeah, definitely. If you do this, yes, definitely. There's plan for that. You will do that. Can we have the slide? Yes. Please, what ESL do you use to be on the same page? I think I'm using Microsoft 365. So I think I'm using Microsoft 365, but then Microsoft 365 is a paid version. So, but then please, you guys can make use of anything from Excel. I think anything from Excel 2019 upward is very fantastic actually. Excel 2019 upward on the minimum 2019 upward. It is very fantastic. Yeah, so thank you very much for your time. Please, I will start the practical tomorrow. Yes, we are getting on our Excel tomorrow, please. We are getting, I can't even wait to get on my Excel sheet already. I don't like all this, you know. So we are getting on our practical section tomorrow. Please, what does the 10 weeks cover? The cybersecurity? No, that's a capital note. The 10 weeks is strictly for data analytics. Which version of Excel after this? You are good to chat. Thanks so much for that. For the ability to carry. Thanks so much for that compliment. The 10 weeks, is it daily? It's not daily. It's just Saturday and Sundays, please. It's just before somebody will run away from class. That you know when I work again. So it's just Saturdays and Sundays, please. What Excel do you use? So I will struggle. Can you use data analytics to sort out your work when coding? Data analytics to sort out your work when coding. You know, these are two different fields entirely. You know, these are two different fields entirely. Coding. When you're talking about coding, you're talking about your dev. That's your dev. You know, your dev. We have under dev. We have your full stack. We have your back end. We have your front end. You know, data analytics is coding is a different part entirely. Coding is a different part entirely. So don't let us go into that. But then there are two different tech skills. So please, what are the second account you mentioned after LinkedIn? Yeah, your GitHub account. Yeah, Chinyere, yeah, your GitHub account. You're going to open a GitHub account. So you don't need to panic about that. What is the training? Please, is the training Saturday and Sunday? Yes. What you always said do you use? I've answered that. GitHub. Okay, so what's the importance of data? What is the importance of data analysis? I've mentioned that in class already. You can go through the slide on class to get what I said in class. Are you give example of data structure, unstructured? Yes. Can you give? Yes, I will. Please, this I will do tomorrow. I will give you the example tomorrow. Structure, unstructured, and semi-structured. I will give you an example of that tomorrow in our class. By the time we get on our Excel, I will show you how structured data looks like. After 10 weeks, what will be the duration for specific niche? I don't know that yet. Communication as regards that will be shared across to us later on. So how do we get data to work with during the practical session? Don't worry about that. Every material, just like I said, you'll be needing for this section will be given by us. So you don't need to disturb yourself about any data. Can someone who pick a different course and is active with data analysis also get certificate for both data analysis and definitely? Secondly, when do you start using a laptop for the practical? Because the laptop I ordered might be getting to me by ending of this month, and I don't have a friend that owns a laptop. Yeah, so Charles, good one. But then the truth is we are getting on the practical part of things tomorrow. We're getting on the practical part of things tomorrow, but I can promise you that the practical we are starting with tomorrow is not something complex, and then we're getting on the practical tomorrow because we have to finish Excel in the next 4 weeks, starting from today. So we're getting on practical tomorrow. So if you are looking at month end before your laptop gets here, month end should be in the next 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that you will still be able to catch up. There's video recording, and then you will still be able to catch up actually. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. How do you decide which type of analysis is best for a specific problem? Yeah, so thank you so much for this. Joy. So by the time we start analyzing data in class, by the time we start answering questions, you'll be able to answer all this yourself. Because we are not the one that will determine. We are the one that will determine, but then we are not the one that is in total control of that. So, an extent, it depends on what the question is. It depends on what the CEO, COO, or any person we are handling the analysis work is ordering for. For example, if somebody is saying is asking us that what will be the projection, you know that from the question already, you know that what the projection is already predictive analysis. But then if someone is asking, okay, what's happening in our company right now, you know that is descriptive analysis. From that question, you'll be able to answer that. Thank you. What time is it tomorrow? Is the same time, 4 to 5:30, the same time? Yes, we have your course outline. Yes, can we get the class topic structure in PDF? It is part of the slide for today's class, so you see it there. And just introduction, you make it seem like it's going to be so easy to grab. I hope so. Yeah, so data analysis is very easy, but then let me also say that it is not easy. Actually, it is easy and it's not easy. Yeah, I'm making it easy because something I enjoy doing. I enjoy analyzing data, and then definitely I enjoy teaching also. So maybe that is why. But then the truth is, it is easy if you are ready to pay the sacrifice. If you are ready to pay the price, let me use that one. If you are ready to pay the price, it is quite easy actually. So it is quite easy. Very, very. It's unlike your coding, unlike all your Python and every other thing. How do you decide which type of analysis is best? I've done that. It's making me understand data analysis more. I can't wait to learn more with the software. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Obidoa. Yeah, so interesting class. Thank you. They'll be recording after each class. Yes, they'll be recording. I struggle with SPSS during my master's. One is boring and uninteresting. This is me enjoying your class. I can't wait to be an expert in it. Oh, great. But then this class is not. We are not having SPSS class in this class. We are using different softwares entirely. Because SPSS is basically for your research. For your research analysis. SPSS is basically for your research analysis. We have other software we use for research apart from SPSS also. But then what we are doing basically here is business. Actually, it's really business. Please, can we do more than one course? Definitely. How do you decide what type of analysis? I've done that. Cracked version is okay, right? Yes. Do you have a detailed course outline? Yes. You see it in your slide. Okay, is that yes? What time for class tomorrow? I've already done that. That is 4. Will there be room for internship at the end of the class where we can have real-world experience of the course? Internship. So for the internship, I will leave Prof to answer that later on, maybe during the course of the course, maybe not right now. But then if you want to answer right now, also it's also possible. But then I believe that best students can actually be best student in class. I believe that we can have a plan for internship for them, even if it is whether it is paid or unpaid, depending on that. But then if it is just to get the real world experience, I believe that we can have a structure around that. But then that is not me answering the question. That is then just telling you possibility, but then Prof is the best person to actually answer the question. Are we going to start learning cybersecurity? Not yet. Please, can we do more than one course? Yes. Please, Saturday. Please, sir, some Sundays are busy for me. Sunday is busy for everybody. Also, please. So we just need to see how we can balance things. When do we start other courses after data analysis? Communication will be done about that later. You can learn other professionals like cybersecurity after the 10 weeks. Yes, you can learn any other thing you want after the 10 weeks. After data analysis, will there be a class for software development? If it is part of what we shared with you, yes, definitely. Can it be used to study forex prediction? This is not financial class. This is not financial class. So don't take so don't take anything we are training you with in the class to go and make financial decision. Please, this is not financial class. Please, so that you won't lose money in forex and you say it is one class though. Please. It's 1 hour 30 minutes actually. It's 1 hour 30 minutes. The class duration is 1 hour 30 minutes. Can you enjoy the class? I really enjoy the class. Thank you. Please, can you also share the Zep version with us to install, please? You can do Zep 2019. You can go to getintopc.com. You can always get any software you want. The cracked version of any software you want. Getintopc.com. You can always get it over there. 19 upward. Please, can you also share the Zep version? The Zep version. Okay. So let me look at the question. Do I have people in the question room? I think question and answer. Let me see. I think I've answered every other person around there. Please, do we need to register attendance manually? Not necessarily now, because at the moment the system is actually marking attendance for you. But then after this class, I will cross-check the attendance the system is marking. If it works very fine for us, you don't need to mark any attendance manually. We'll just use the one that is being used by that is being given by the system. But then I believe that the system will monitor you from the beginning to the end of the class. So there's no, it is not the way you sit down for your picture, you go show for the picture. So thanks for that. What's the second account? Okay, I think I've answered that already. GitHub account. Can you use it to sort out your work, coding stuff, like game website? I think I've also answered that also in class. So yeah, so thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. I think I've been able to answer all your questions. Yeah, so I think I've also answered all your questions. I noticed some scammers are still in there. Which message should you honor? Please, before you message any message that you respond to on the class, please make sure it is one of the admins on the group page. Please, if the person is not an admin on the group page, before a person can be an admin on the group page, it means that it has the knowledge of prof before someone can be an admin on the page. So if someone is messaging you and not an admin of the page, please, they are scammers. They have high potential to be a scammer. So please, let's play safe, please. Let's play safe, please. So if there's no other question, thank you so much, guys, for today. Thank you so much. It's really a great time, a session with you guys today, and then see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.